Hey guys, this is Phil, aka Terry, and this is the fourth video in my little series on my new map called Progress Thieves, or however you want to pronounce progress. This video is going to be pretty much only about the redstone, just for those of you who are interested in it. It's not really that complicated, it's just because it's on such a large scale, it looks a bit more difficult than it actually is. So I will start at this big spawn thing here. I've mentioned this in one of my videos already, I'm sorry. This is a 33 by 33 square. From doing a little bit of research, I've discovered it should actually be 35 by 35. I got that wrong, because in multiplayer, for some reason, if one square is the actual spawn point, then any of these spaces is where you can spawn, so it'll be 17 blocks, like from the actual spawn point in any direction. And hopefully, as you can see, it's just completely covered in tripwires, and all of those tripwires go over to here. And if I haven't said already, this is designed by Seth Bling, who is incredible with Minecrafty things, especially MC Edit. So yes, they all go into this long line of redstone here, and then we just use repeaters so we can get the signal from any bit of this big grid, and it goes into this torch. And if we remove this torch, oh damn it! So that demonstration went horribly wrong, but if I remove this torch, then up here there is a clock. If you don't know what a clock is, it's just something like this. You have a torch that sort of sends its power back into itself. So there's this one little piece of signal just going round and round again. But if we power that redstone somehow, then it just like completely locks up. So when a player goes on the wire, that's one way of doing it, then the clock will go round. Then there would be a torch here, but I've removed it, or it will put me into adventure mode and repeatedly teleport me to the same spot. But it will set the spawn of the nearest player to over by the lobby, it will put them in adventure mode, and then it will actually teleport them to the spawn. If you want to filter this to like people in a certain game mode, like after the player target, you can put square brackets, and M stands for game mode, and then 0 is for survival, which is probably what someone will be when they enter the server. So you should. That's a good way of like making buttons secure, because around the map there's admin buttons, and they've all got this M thing, but it's for M equals 1, so only people in creative mode can use it. So there we go. And that would be teleporting people. And the reason it's a clock is because if 3 people log in at once, and then they'll all trigger it, then only one person will have their spawn reset, and only one person will get teleported, so you need something that repeats itself. But try not to get yourself stuck in a loop like I just did. So now we're going to head all the way across the map. Just the spawns, like... I'm not sure why it's over there, it just is, it doesn't really matter. It's just to get everyone ultimately teleported into the same spot of your map. And it's quite a big map. I expect I'm going to be flying around just going, here's one big line of redstone. So, the lobby, yes, good, I have the right world. These piston doors, you can open them with a button. There's nothing too complicated about this. There's just pistons underneath and on top, and there is a T flip-flop. If you don't really want to know about the actual mechanics of T flip-flop, basically you can think of it as turning a button into a lever. So you press the button, it goes on, you press it again, it goes off. And it looks like this. What happens is, like, these 2 blocks here are your inputs, so when redstone signal comes in, these torches will both go off, and then they will come back on. And so these 2 pistons will, like, try and extend, but it seems the one with the block has precedence over pushing, if I show you that. So the position of the block switches, and then if you just put a torch underneath like one of these 2 places where the block could be, then that will power the block, and then you can take signal out of there, which goes to the doors. Better reset that. So there you go, that's how a T flip-flop works. Now, underneath here, this looks a little bit horrible, but hopefully by now you know that when a player comes in here, they will press this button, and then it will send them over to their spawn in the actual map, and then it will close the door behind them. So this works. Actually, to be honest, most of this map is just RS null latches now, which you should know if you watch my videos. So the button is on this block. It powers this redstone, which goes. The arrow is not actually in a funny place, but here it is. So this torch is underneath the door, so it's currently on, so the door is open. When power goes into the RSNL latch, it just goes like underneath and then back up, because you need to send power into this block here, and because they're all so compact, I figured that was the easiest way, rather than like having to go in from the side each time, having to worry about redstone like from the adjacent latches. So yes, as long as you get power into that block, and then it will flip the RSNL latch and the door will close. And then if you want to switch it back manually, you can press this button, but it's not going to do anything at the moment. So we've just got that copied and pasted in MC Edit 20 times, which is why MC Edit is so good. Now, this bit in the middle, this green wool, it's mildly color coordinated. This green wool is actually on the game start button. Actually, I will go back up to the game start button, which is this one, which sets the time to 0, turns off mob griefing, which is this game rule thing, is quite new, I think. That just goes down, and what this does is it will trigger all the RSNL latches from this one big main line of redstone. So even if the doors are open because no one has used them, they will then be closed when the game actually starts, so that no one can sneak into the game, or at least it's to try and discourage people from sneaking into the game. Behave. What else? I think if we follow the game start button, have this long piece of wire on. Actually, there shouldn't be a delay here. I need to fix that. But that just goes down. I'm just using torches as opposed to repeaters. They do exactly the same thing. And then we have, it's pretty much actually the same thing up there. We've got RSNL latches here, and you need to trigger them from this side. So this is like the first set of iron doors that like lock the player in the same room as their bed, so they can't just go into the game anytime. You have to wait until someone presses the button up there. I don't really think there's much to say about it. It's just more RSNL latches. And then there's the same thing like this, but all the way over on the blue side. I don't think I really need to show you that. Just believe me that it works, because the piece of wire is massive. Now I think the only thing left is timing. This game is exactly sort of just over 20 minutes. I think I'm going to have to smash into my wiring here, because this is designed to be quite player-proof, so there shouldn't really be any way around here properly. Enchanting table, which is very in the way, unfortunately. Right, so that game start button, hopefully you saw, whoa, this piece of wool from the start button, that just goes and done. Now there's actually two 20-minute timers here, because I built the big one up there thinking, yeah, we'll have a nice big display in the middle of the map that everyone can see, and then I spent a while figuring out how to compact everything into that 7x7 space, and then thought, well, now I need a second because I could have just like taken outputs from this timer up to the lamps up there, but whatever, this is how it's turned out. So, how does this work? The actual wire, where does it start? So I built this myself and I don't even know. Ah, yes, it goes to this one. So what happens is a repeater will fire out an item, and items will despawn after 5 minutes. So we've just got a pressure plate with a torch. The torch is on by default, but that won't be doing anything to the dispenser until this item despawns. So that was me pretending that 5 minutes had passed. I'm just taking the item to speed it up. And this goes round. And then you get 15. Now I need to be careful here. Make sure these won't do stupid things to me and ruin my video again. Yeah, so this is the last timer. What this will do is... Ooh, did I just take the item? Grr. So that will say game end through this command block. Then what it will do is it will reset the spawn point of everyone in the map. It's a 165 block radius from the center, I believe. That should cover everything, like from the exact middle of the map all the way to like the very far corner of the spawn room, so you shouldn't be able to escape. And it will then teleport you into a lava room. The lava room's just somewhere over there on the edge of the map. You're not really supposed to know about it. So that will kill you. There's no way of getting a potion of fire resistance in this map, so I didn't have to worry about that. And then you will lose all your items, be back in adventure mode, and you'll be where you started off, but you will have attempted to win the game. So there. Now the second timer, that's what this piece of wire does. It just goes upwards. It goes like through the middle of the enchanting room. Ooh, I don't want to break anything. Ooh. Right, I'll try and find a better way in. So yes, here we are in the most horrible wiring ever, but that line of torches from down there comes up just there. Hopefully you can see that. It then gets inverted there. There's just a redstone torch there which powers this block, and then we have exactly the same thing. A dispenser full of stuff that hits a pressure plate. You can't really see, but there's torches underneath there. The really difficult thing is we need to get redstone to 4 sides of a square here. You can do it straight into the lamp or like into any of the 4 pieces of wool surrounding the lamp. Technically a player could break some of this nether brick and heckle with the wiring, and they will only ruin like this display here. This isn't technically like the main timer. The main timer is down there, so that's sort of a reason to have 2 of them. One's graphical and then one of them is it's completely impenetrable, and it will still say the 5, 10 minute, 15, etc. minute messages, so players won't be able to break that. But this is just so if you want to know how much time you've got left roughly, you can look to the middle of the map. And it also helpfully tells you which side of the board you are on, because it can be quite difficult to tell. And just look at this wiring, it's horrible. It took me ages to make this. This was based on something by Etho's Lab, who is also currently in the middle of making a map. So that's cool, you should go and look at his videos. They've been very cool. He's pretty damn sciencey. Yeah, science. That's pretty much it for the redstone on this map, unless you want to do stuff like this. It's literally just a command block behind this button. Same thing here. As I've said, I don't know like how things work depending on whether or not you're creative or whether or not you're an op on the server. So you might need buttons, or you could just do it with / commands like that. Game start, and then behind these are just bog standard teleporting the nearest person in creative mode to the spawn, and the map can take a while to load, but usually not this long. So yeah, it looks quite pretty. So on that note, I hope you enjoyed all these videos. Now, go and have fun with the map. I will get everything uploaded as soon as possible. I've got lots of videos to render and upload, but I hope you enjoyed. Dear, I forgot something. This is only a little quick one. This pressure plate here, which gives you all your steak and your armor. It's nothing too complicated, just underneath that pressure plate. There's the wire, which just has to snake around the RS and all that, because everything's a bit cramped. That goes up and around over your spawn, and it's just like this big tower of redstone with dispensers with repeaters going into dispensers. Dispensers are they're sort of overly sensitive in a glitchy way with redstone and how it updates, because you can see I'm only like sending repeaters into every other block, but all of the dispensers will get activated, and then when the power goes off, like 1 or 2 of them will trigger again. It's very weird. It seems a bit temperamental, doesn't seem to do the same thing every time, but okay, now the video is finished, so seriously, go and have fun with the map.